This year, our classroom community will be participating in a new and fun program to monitor our own citizenship in the classroom. And one of the great things about it is that parents can follow it at home and see how their student is doing at home on their own computer. The first thing I'm going to do is show you a brief video that explains the basics of the program, and then we'll get into some of the nuts and bolts of it.
Hey, welcome to Class Dojo. Class Dojo is a tool that makes your classroom more fun, and it helps you become a better student too. Your teacher will set up Class Dojo and make a list of actions to try to do this year, like participating, helping others, and staying on task. When your teacher notices that you're doing these actions, you'll receive dojo points. And at the end of the day, you can find out how you've done. You can see what you're doing well, and also learn where you need improvement. The best part is this: you get your very own avatar. We'll give you one to start with, but you can make your own avatar once your teacher gives you your secret code. Log in at home using your secret code, and you'll be able to make your own avatar. See how you did in class, and see all your friends too. We hope you love using Class Dojo, like millions of students all around the world do. Now, your teacher will tell you more about how you're going to use Class Dojo in your classroom. Have fun!
Here's what the class board looks like. As they said in the video, each student has their own avatar that they will get to go in once they have their code, and they can change their avatar the way they'd like it to be. Right now, these are just avatars that were chosen for them. The class will walk in the morning and they will see this on the board for their attendance, but it will be marked all absent. They will have 5 minutes to get themselves ready for school. They'll have to mark their absence as here, and then they'll need to put their stuff away and mark their lunch, and they'll be able to get their first point of the day, which will be a ready to learn point. So what they'll need to do is, as the bell rings, the countdown will start, and they'll come over here. So here's this example. We'll use Abigail. She'll come in and mark herself as here, and then she'll go choose her lunch and put her stuff away and have a seat, and she's already earned her first point for the day. So here, for example, I'm going to mark all these people here, and we'll just keep going. And those people, for example, are all here today. Now we'll talk about reality and say that Koyana is absent and Jacob is absent. Jack's here. And then there's one student who forgets to mark themselves as here. And here you're going to see it says Isabella Motter. That's my daughter. She's not in our class, but I have her in here so later I can show you as a parent what your screen looks like. So she's just in here as a test student. And I'm going to say she forgets to mark herself here. That happens every day. Somebody forgets to mark themselves here. And I'll go through and mark everybody else as here. So you can see that today everybody is here except Koyana and Jacob are absent, and Isabella, my Isabella, forgot to mark herself as here. So what I will do is I will go in and give them all a point, because they also all remember to turn in their lunch. Here's the countdown is going. They will all get a point for being ready to learn. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to check the students who were all ready to learn today, and that's everybody except for the 3 people who were marked absent. Isabella was actually here today, but she wasn't ready on time. So I'm going to choose all these people, and I'm going to go up here to the award page, which we're going to talk about in a minute, And they are all going to get a point for being ready to learn. And they are all going to get a point for being ready to learn. And it's going to pop up on the board, and they're all going to notice that they got a point. So I'm sure the students are wondering what behaviors are getting them these points. Well, they're the behaviors that the students are doing all the time because they're such good citizens anyway. But they're coming from three different places. One are the dive letters that they already have known for many years, demonstrating respect, valuing the environment, improving self, and engaging in learning. And then there are the PYP learner attributes. Some of them you recognize as being a risk taker, being a thinker, being a communicator, as some of them. And then there are the PYP attitudes, like appreciation, curiosity, and enthusiasm, and being confident and independent, for example. And I've thrown in a few of my expectations, for example, teamwork, helping others without being asked, and asking good questions. So those are some of the things that students will be doing in class that will be earning them these points. Now, what will happen when students earn these points will be explained to them later because that's a much longer discussion. Of course, no one wants to lose any points, but unfortunately, it is inevitable because we all make mistakes. Mistakes are a part of life, and that's actually how we learn. Adults make mistakes, kids make mistakes. So, we've already created a list of the things that we usually see in the classroom, and I'll go over what is on here because I'm sure that the kids and parents want to know what's on this list. First, we have the real minor things that are seen fairly often. And here you'll see homework missing, or you'll see the Friday folder missing. A lot of times, the Friday folder will go home on Friday, and a lot of times the kids will forget to bring it back by the following Friday. But it needs to be there because otherwise there's no way to safely get home all the stuff that needs to get home on Friday. And then their planner needs to come back also signed by Monday or Tuesday at the latest. So parents, you need to read the planner and you need to sign it. And they will lose a point if you haven't signed it and it's not back by Tuesday. Then, as a classroom community, we need to respect our environment and our classroom, and one way to do that is to keep it clean. So if they have left their personal area a mess after snack time or at the end of the day, then they will also lose a point. So you'll see that one there. And then also if they've left something important at home, um, other than homework, like if they needed to bring a book for a discussion or something else that was needed that was important, then that would also be a point. Then we have the kind of behaviors that happen sometimes in classrooms, but they get a look or a warning or a discussion before they'll get a point taken away from them. So that includes things like being off task, not following directions for a while, not getting straight to work. I'll come over, talk to them, look at them, that kind of thing. But if they keep doing it, then they'll lose a point. Same thing with talking. Sometimes it's hard to get straight to work and we're talking at the wrong time. It's time that we should be working and not talking, or talking out of turn or interrupting and those kinds of things. They'll get a few warnings before they get a point taken away from them. And the same thing with a lack of effort, not putting all of their effort into their work, and it's continuing and continuing, then they will lose points for that as well. Things that they won't get warnings for, things that they know that they should not be doing and they will immediately lose a point for, are things like purposefully causing problems for other people, and there are lots of different things that fall into that category, or arguing with their classmates, or inappropriate language, things we shouldn't be saying at school, inappropriate computer use, that's being on the wrong website at the wrong time purposefully, disrespect to others, that's anyone in the school, and then disrespect to the teacher. Disrespect covers a very large list of things. So we will be talking in class about what respect means and all of the different things that respect looks like and what respect doesn't look like. So they'll have a good idea about what goes in that category. So now we'll just show a couple examples of when students are at the class meeting and they've earned some more points. So let's say that Ashton asked a really good question and Ava was really enthusiastic to be at school today. So Ashton is going to get his point for asking a really good question. And Ava is going to get her point for enthusiasm. And then we're all ready to head back to our groups to get back to work. And whichever table gets back to their group first will all get a point. And so that group happened to be Connor and Elena and Jack and Isabella. And so they will all get a point for being ready to learn. And then let's say while we're working, we have a couple of students who weren't just really good at work, but they were doing an outstanding job of working. And so that was Mark and Matthias and Sarah. And so they need to get a point for engaging in learning. And while we were working, Thomas noticed that there was a student who needed help with their computer, and without being asked, he just walked over and helped him get ready for, or helped him with the computer. So that's an example of how the positive points can work. Now, of course, nobody wants the negative points, but let's just say that Isabella over here forgot her homework. So she's going to get a ding for missing her homework. And let's say that, who's going to talk? I know, let's say Ava's talking. Okay, so Ava's been warned a couple of times, but she just keeps talking. So she's going to lose a point for just talking over and over again. So I think you have the idea, but I want to show you what your parent report will look like. So I'm going to go in here to Isabella, and let's pretend it's been a week, and she has a point for teamwork, and she got a point for effort, and she'd gotten a point this week for independence, and she got a point for improvement, and she got a point for another point for being ready to learn, and she lost a point for forgetting her Friday folder. That's something she would do. And she also lost a point, oh, definitely, for talking at the wrong time. Okay. Now I'll skip over to what you can see as a parent at the end of a week. What will happen is I will send you an invitation via email for you to log on and create an account. And the first time you pull up the email, you'll have to create an account, which will just be you putting in your name and a password. And then it will welcome you and it will tell you to pull up the report. And your report will look something like this, where you will be able to see a circle graph of their activity in the classroom. The green will be their positive behaviors, and then you can see below the different dates what happened. So since I only did it on one date, there's only the one day on there, but you should be able to see a full week. My recommendation is that you sit down with your student at the end of every week and take a look at the report, and you can set goals with your child and see if you see any patterns, and you can increase the number of greens. And if you see a pattern in the reds building, or you see the same reds over and over again, you can set some goals and try to improve what you're seeing. Okay, well, thanks. And if you have any questions, just let me know.